Alright guys, welcome back to my Halloween marathon. So for day number 4, I'll be talking about a certain game where you journey into a castle to take down an evil entity. No, I'm talking about Shadowgate. Yeah, now Shadowgate here got started on the Apple Macintosh in 1987 as part of some games under the name Mac Adventure series, but it gained popularity once it was ported over to the NES where I first played it. It's a point-and-click adventure game, and it was something that was not really a genre fully embraced by the NES back in the days, but thankfully Kemco here brought it over to the console in 1989, this time in color and with music. Oh, thank goodness for that. And this was actually one of my first time playing this type of game, and I immediately loved it. So basically this game introduces us to the castle that is called Shadowgate. So it's your pretty basic run-of-the-mill storyline. You know, guy needs to save world from evil monster that's gonna destroy everything. Now, the original game on the Mac only had sound effects, so the music added to the NES version was a great welcome. It had a certain vibe to it that made you feel alone and in despair. Certain rooms also had different background tunes, so it wasn't always the same music playing over and over again throughout the whole castle. And that made the experience that much better. Now this one actually threw in a lot of different songs and tunes depending on which castle room you visited, and some choices and actions that were taken in the game also unlocked certain tunes that would play, like say for instance maybe solve the puzzle or grab some kind of a weapon or kill the monster or something like that. Now the point and click aspect took a little bit of time to get used to. Like I said, the Nintendo Entertainment System wasn't known for click and point adventure games for the most part. I mean, sure, they had this one, they had Maniac Mansion. I can't think of any other ones other than the other Mac Venture games that were brought over to the NES, which were Deja Vu and Uninvited, but other than that, it wasn't that big of a genre. And the games were originally made for the computer, for the Apple Macintosh, so the keyboard and mouse was always something that was in mind when these games were created. So moving the cursor around with a controller was kind of a little bit clunky at first, but over time you kind of got used to it, and the cursor kind of moved at a good pace for the most part. Now you got your main screen here on the left. You got the one over here on the right showing your inventory, and the menu options are at the bottom as well. You also have this little save button feature all the way at the bottom. Thank goodness you didn't have to use a password system, because some of those NES games back then, they had like some of the worst password systems that you can think of. And the puzzles, I think, are just the right amount of difficulty. I mean, none being too perplexing enough to get you stuck for a long time. I mean, the beginning had me stumped the first time I played it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, and I thought to myself, why would somebody put a key behind a skull? Yeah, but I think finding that key behind the skull kind of set you up for what you were about to encounter inside the castle. Yeah, so basically the game was telling you at that point, hey, don't leave anything unturned or unchecked because you never know. Yeah, and once you get inside that castle, that's when the fun begins. Until the torch goes out. Yeah, that's one of the little few gripes I have with this game, is that you have the need to have that torch lit at all times. I mean, you can find torches scattered about the castle rooms, and the game even lets you know when your torch is about to go out. Or you can just look at the animated torch right above your inventory list here. But if it does go out... Good Lord, that's disturbing. Thank the heavens there's no clowns inside this castle that I know of. Talking about evil things, there's a lot of cool creatures that you're gonna come across face to face while going through the rooms in the castle. I mean, you got skeletons, you got wolves, you got werewolves, you got dragons, snakes, this beast over here that I have no idea what the hell it is. But if it's weird, if it's evil, it's living inside this castle for sure. And the enemies in the castle are not the only thing that you will have to contend with. The castle itself is a treacherous place to explore, so a lot of times you're going to be walking inside a room and you're going to see something that you think you might need to pick up and realize that it's a booby trap, when once you click on it, boom, you're dead. So there's quite a few deaths that take place in Shadowgate. Well, actually quite a lot that you're going to be going through. due to trial and error. And that actually might turn some people off. I was just fine with that small gameplay aspect, but not everybody likes that. But at the same time, I think there's something entertaining about wondering which way you're going to die next. And there's a lot of different ways that you're gonna die, for sure. If you're looking for a hack and slash, kind of like a quick, fast-paced action game, then this one right here is clearly not for you. But what it does offer is a very engrossing ambience and storytelling that pulls you into that universe and puts you in the shoes of the protagonist from the first-person perspective. And that was something that was not rarely seen back in those days outside of a computer game. So it was clearly a welcome sight for the NES. And if you actually like Shadowgate here, there's actually 2 more sequels after this one. One of them came out in the TurboGrafx CD and it was titled Beyond Shadowgate. Not a lot of people played that one. It's actually not even a first-person point-and-click adventure game. Well, actually it is a point-and-click, but it's from a 2D perspective. And then if you own a Nintendo 64, you actually got to play another sequel to Shadowgate called Shadowgate 64 Trials of the Four Towers. I've actually never played that game, but I have seen videos of it in YouTube and it looks interesting. It does take place from a first-person perspective again, like the original. And if the graphics are just a little bit too much retro for you, you can also pick up the 2019 updated remake of Shadowgate, which is available in Steam and other consoles. I think it's also available for the Switch, but I'm not entirely sure about that one. And that one is pretty much a direct remake of the original with all updated graphics. So if you're into games that bring you into the universe with great storytelling, ambience, great music, a lot of detail in the storytelling, this game right here is definitely for you. Even if you never played it, I'm pretty sure that once you do pick it up and try it out, you're not going to regret it. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed that little quick recap of Shadowgate, one of my favorite point-and-click adventures from the late 80s. So join me for day number 5 tomorrow when I will be talking about a certain game regarding ghosts and capturing ghosts. So until tomorrow, try not to pick up any vampires hitchhiking on the roads. Just saying.